Blah 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 blah. Go blah 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 blah.
I love the production. For instance, again, we were talking about "I Got a Girl." It starts off with a muffled sound like
Yeah.
mono, and it's very filmic. It brings you almost back in time.
The producer Colin MacLeod, he's never produced really an album before, so we worked really closely together. I think he's a good friend. There wasn't the same pressure I've ever felt with a producer. You know, we knew each other, so it wasn't that I was taking a back seat. We were both like front seat because we knew we'd never done this before, and he really put some really cool ideas into the recording.
And why did you choose the muffled sound for the start of "I Got a Girl"?
Well, one, it was kind of logistic because we recorded that song live all together in one room. The whole band were playing, so you needed to find certain ways in order to get a message across, and certainly to give that feeling at the start of the song. I think to give that sense of being alone was good. You know, it takes you from one space of a claustrophobic kind of feeling to a much bigger space with the whole band. So it certainly gives that feeling, but it was Colin's idea to put that on, and it sounds really cool.
Another song I love, "Tractor." I think it's also a favorite of a lot of people. You shot a video for it in a basement in Rotterdam.
I did, yeah, with some really cool friends, Robin and Anna Lind, and a girl called Meryl Vanden. That's I'd met them for like 2 days. I was living in they were living in these studios in an old school in Rotterdam, and I met them. I stayed one night there, and I was like, guys, I know I don't know you very well, but I like you a lot, and I like this space. How's about we make a music video? It was so much fun. I was so invested in it because we were coming up with the ideas. Even though people don't know it, for me it feels very powerful. I like it.
It's very powerful. I think it's a very powerful song. I like the lyrics. What are they about before I start blurting out stuff that it's not really about?
Well, it's about a few things. I guess I was considering the idea of like perception and public perception, especially like the idea of gossip. And I was witnessing that in my friends and my family. I was able to notice when people get scared of what others will think, and I got really interested in that. And so I'm kind of just saying to whoever might be scared of what other people might think, just like, you're going to leave them, and they're either going to understand or they won't. You just got to deal with that.
Well said. And a beautiful song again, but why would you call it Tractor?
I called it Tractor because these thoughts began whilst I was on a walk in the Highlands of Scotland where I live, and there was this tractor that I ended up sitting in for an hour or so because it was raining. So I just jumped in this tractor, and I became very affectionate towards the tractor.
I was wondering, thanks. Hey, another song I love, This Love. Again, a song or a title for a song that other bands did as well.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of bands who have that one. It's quite.
And then I was thinking it's probably hard to come up with a title that no one ever used before, because I mean, people have been making music for 200 years now, so.
Yeah, I think in the first album I was very concerned with those sort of things, like making sure everything I did was kind of out of the box. I had to say my titles were always odd, and this time around I guess I haven't given too much thought. I didn't mind what they meant, and it seemed like it very much seemed like the title of this song. I say "this love" a lot in that song.
It's a beautiful lyrics again. If people will buy your album, will they get the lyrics, and can they find them online? Because I only found them on musicmatch.com.
I'm glad you found them. I did write them. I'll send them to you. But I've on the physical aspect of the album, there is a booklet. One of the songs is missing. A song called "Begin," which I did by accident, but I'm quite happy about that now actually. But just to add a wee bit of mystery or something. But I think I will put the lyrics on my website as well, because they're important, I think.
And your website is?
www.rachelsermanni.net.
Thank you very much. Hey, again, "This Love," a beautiful song. It's personal.
Yeah, they're all quite personal, but that one is blatant. And even though I'm saying like a whole bunch of images, it's all saying the same thing, which is that something's gone wrong with the relationship, basically. I think that's pretty much what I'm saying.
What's the most dangerous book you ever read?
A dangerous book? Probably Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre, just because it wasn't too dangerous for me, but what it does is it puts you in a mood. That's a very depressing book. You have to be careful with one of those books. With anything existentialist, you got to be careful because they're going to deprive you of any hope. And so you have to have some other form of understanding in your head before you read something like that. Otherwise, you're going to get very depressed and sad.
Would you read a book by someone or about a topic that's really completely opposite of your own thoughts?
Yeah, all the time. I think that's what's good about a book, is that they will always have a perspective that you're not aware of. And a lot of the time you read a book and you're like, you like it because they resonate with you. But I read all different types of books, and I always find a resonance. It's always a level somewhere where you understand, even if it's hard. There's a book called, we were listening to it whilst we were touring, Searching for Captain Zero or something like that. So you've read that or heard of it. Apparently it's quite a good one.
Enough about books. One more question about your album. Banks Are Broken, lovely song. I found a video online. You and a co-singer. Who is that singer? Who's the guy?
That was in Munich just a few weeks ago. It was so great. Yeah, beautiful river.
You can actually surf that river.
I know, it's so cool. So cool. And there were people swimming. It was April. There were people swimming there. I know. I think that's a really interesting thing. The more I've learnt about surfing, the more I've realised quite how different it is to other sports, how zen it is. Although I can relate it to skiing. Like I do a lot of skiing and see that feeling when you're going fast down a hill, and a good hill, and there's lots of snow. It's like you don't think of anything else.
True.
But that's James Canty. James Canty is a brilliant musician. He was playing guitar for the Staves. We've just passed like Ships in the Night, but he's got a single out just now.
Is he also on the record? Because I mean, I saw him, he's on the video, but he's a different singer than the guy on the record.
Different singer from the guy on the record. The guy on the record is Colin, the producer, Colin MacLeod, whose voice is also extremely beautiful. And he also has his own project.
Now, delving through your Twitter feeds and your Facebook page, and we talked about this before we started the interview. It's very much like a diary, and it also reads like a dream. It's like what everybody wants to experience. You travel the world, you meet interesting people, you get a lot of art, you read books, you see a lot of things that nobody sees. But there must be a price to pay for this life, right?
Yeah, I guess there is. It is a dream. The price is definitely a sense of stability. Of like, I have lots of places to live, lots of friends, lots of places to go, but I don't live in one place.
Is your life very much hand to mouth? It's like you play, you make a buck, you spend the money on food and traveling.
I'm sure it's quite like that. I managed to save a lot. I started managing myself, so those savings have gone into the management aspect. So yeah, it's kind of hand to mouth. I'm still very lucky. I'm still able to do this. I don't have to work another job. So at the moment, I don't have to worry. I think I've just bought a van. So that might be my home for the next while.
I think I just bought a van. You're not sure that you bought one?
Well, I'm going to pick it up on Monday. So
what type of car is it?
It's a Ford Transit Connect. So it's like a small transit van.
Burglar car from the 70s.
A burglar car, but it's bright yellow. So it's not very subtle.
Not a nice burglar car.
No, but I'm going to tour Europe, so I'll be in Holland and Germany and all the way over across to the UK with this sweet little van, which I hope is going to be like a home to me, so that's great.
10 beautiful songs on this one. You're not afraid to put older songs on albums as well, which make me think, of course, you already finished a new album.
I haven't finished a new album. That would be cool, but I have lots of ideas. I'll let next year help me dictate that.
Well, let's first enjoy this album. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.